Hi everyone, welcome to Ask Your MC version 2.0. This is Ankith this side, your MCP. So today there are two controversial questions that I would like to answer, and that were particularly aimed at me, and so I thought that I would like to answer these questions. So this is question number one.
Why are only some entities in the network appreciated for their big feats, whereas a lot of smaller efforts go unnoticed by MC Veer? Is MC Veer biased?
Hi person who asked this question, pretty much fundamentally asked why are we kind of biased towards LCs or not. So the thing is, according to me, the MC is biased, and when I say that the MC is biased, we bias people based on how well they perform, how well they do. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that we don't take care of everyone. As an MC, the biggest thing that we did this year, in the start of the year, was that the fundamental thing was that we wanted to make sure that all LCs were on the same playing field, in which we would provide the same services and the same kind of effort in order to make sure that everything is done for the MC or for the LCs. The other thing is that the biggest thing that we wanted to do this year was actually uplift expansion. So if you can see that the amount of expansion that we started this year, the amount of expansion that we've been helping to push up in terms of their performance. So for us, it does not really matter. The point is that we do as many exchanges as possible in such a way that everyone is growing equally. And if during my MCP elections, I remembered that I know that growth is not going to be constant throughout every LC, but the point is by the end of the year I wanted to make sure that every LC is growing. And there are times that there are some LCs that really perform, and there are LCs that are really pushing, and we are very happy to see the kind of hard work that they've been putting, the kind of effort that they've been putting, the kind of synergies that they've been having with each other. And for me, I would really like to acknowledge those LCs, but at the same time I don't want to make sure that I want to disregard anyone, because everyone's effort is really important, and the effort that every LC puts in is important for me, and I would like to acknowledge the effort of every single person. So just to summarize, I think by the end of it, I think yes, we are biased in a sense that we love the people who really put hard work, but at the same time we want everyone to grow. So there is no bias.
At times, doing higher number of matches and realizations isn't enough. What can AIESEC in India do to make a bigger impact?
Hello person who asked the second question, thank you so much for that question. I think we've been having this discussion, at least for me, for the past 6 years. Does actually the amount of exchanges have any kind of impact on the time of things that we're doing? For me, I think yes, one of the biggest things that we can actually do is actually to reach out to as many people and doing more exchanges as possible. But at the same time, we really need to look at how we are actually growing as an organization in terms of the quality services that we deliver. If you look at AIESEC right now, we have something called the 16 standards and satisfaction, in which we are actually trying to see every experience that we try to have, we have the kind of best experiences, and it's more of actually making sure that we have the right expectations. More will not necessarily lead to right impact, but it's the way you do it, right? And every time that you actually have an exchange, you really need to think about these are real customers, these are real people, and sometimes they say that AIESEC is a bubble, but the thing is, if you need to notice, we are really dealing with real people, with real companies, and providing them real kind of talent in order for them to grow their leadership talent, right? So in this case, we need to look at it more from a customer perspective in terms of how people are doing. Now, for AIESEC impact to actually go out there, we need to start measuring the kind of impact that we have. Is our impact and the other kind of experiences that we are delivering actually like impacting India in a long-term perspective? A good question that we need to ask is that if you were not here, how would people recognize us? Would people notice the difference that AIESEC isn't here? So that's one of the things that I was thinking about as well. So now when we talk about peace and fulfillment of humankind's potential, which is for any organization is so big and such a almost impossible task to do, there is no set defined pathway to actually create that kind of impact. And I think as young people in India, especially, I think we need to somehow figure it out and see how we can do it, because no one has the answer, and AIESEC India as a whole should somehow figure out how we can make the best kind of impact. But at the end of the day, I would ask you to strive for more, strive to do more, strive to make sure that you do those things in the best possible manner, because at the end of the day, that's what people reflect as AIESEC India, and that's how people see India as, and that is the responsibility that we have as AIESEC India and as Indians as well.